children, Sai Ram. How are you all? I hope you all are fine and safe at home. Children, are you doing studies at home? Your quarterly exam will be after few days. So children, prepare all the syllabus of accountancy from chapter number 1 to chapter number 4, retirement of a partner, and deleted portion will not come in quarterly exam as well as in your annual exam. Okay, so children, do prepare and do well. Okay, now we are going to start our new chapter, chapter number 5, dissolution of a partnership firm. This is part 1 of this chapter. First of all, meaning of dissolution of a partnership firm. So first of all children, first thing is dissolution of partnership. Only dissolution of partnership. It means change in relationship among the partners, but the firm continues. Means like admission of a partner. One partner is coming, so their relationship is changing. Suppose in a firm previously there are 2 partners and one partner is coming, so now there are 3 partners. Okay, so this is the relationship changes. So this is known as dissolution of partnership. And sometimes one partner is retiring. Suppose there are 3 partners and one partner want to retire. So one partner is retiring. It means there is also change in relationship. So this is known as dissolution of partnership. Okay. Similarly, if there are 3 partners and their ratio is 1:1:1, but in the next year they want to share future profit and losses in 5:3:2. So their relationship changes. One partner share profit in more ratio and one partner or 2 partners share profit in less ratio. So their profit and their relationship becomes change. Okay, so this is known as dissolution of partnership. In this only partners change, but firm or business will continue. Okay, now your chapter is dissolution of partnership firm. It means dissolution of a firm. Now dissolution of a firm means business of the firm is discontinued. We will close the business. We will shut down the business. So at the time of dissolution, we have to sell all the assets and liabilities we have to pay. We have to settle down. Okay, so it means we have to wind up the business. So children, dissolution of a firm and dissolution of partnership is clear. Now look at the difference between dissolution of firm and dissolution of partnership. First of all, meaning. So meaning, as I already told, it means dissolution of firm means closure of firm and end of business relationship among all the partners. And dissolution of partnership, it means change in business relationship among the partners, but business continues. Okay, next is court intervention. Court intervention in dissolution of a firm means it can be either voluntary by the partners or compulsory by order of court. Means it can be decided by the partners or compulsory by the order of court, or court will give the order. And dissolution of partnership, it is always voluntary, means it is always decided by the partners. If they want to admit any partner, they want to retire any partner, so it is voluntary. Okay, next is business continuation. Business continuation in dissolution of firm, I already told, business of firms comes to an end, means we have to shut down the business. And dissolution of a partnership, business of the firm continues. Only relationship of partner changes, but business of the firm continue. Next is closure of books of account. So, in dissolution of firm, books of account of the firm are closed. And dissolution of partnership, books of account of the firm need not to be closed. Next is assets and liabilities. Assets and liabilities are released and liabilities are settled. Assets are sold and liabilities are to be paid. Okay. And dissolution of partnership, assets of the firm are revalued and liabilities are reassessed. Assets and liabilities are revalued, it means there we have to make revaluation account, because liabilities and assets are revalued, their value will be changed. Okay, and gain or loss due to it, it will be distributed among the partners, all partners. Next is economic relationship. Economic relationship between among the partners comes to an end, because their partnership comes to an end, so their relationship, their partners relationship also comes to an end. And on the other hand, dissolution of partnership, it not comes to an end. Why? Because only partners changes. So economic relationship between among the partners changes. Okay. Next is effect. Dissolution of firm also means dissolution of partnership. And dissolution of partnership may or may not involve dissolution of the firm. Dissolution of partnership, only partners comes to an end, not business. Okay. So children, this is the difference between dissolution of firm and dissolution of partnership. Hope you understand the meaning of dissolution of partnership and dissolution of firm. There is no confusion between these two terms. Dissolution of partnership means change in relationship among the partners, but the firms continue. And dissolution of firm, business of the firm is closed, shut down, wind up. Okay, discontinued. So, this is the meaning. Next is modes of dissolution of a firm. So, the first mode is by mutual agreement. By mutual agreement means a firm may be dissolved when all the partners agree for its dissolution. Means when all the partners agree, then the firm will be dissolved. Okay. The next is compulsory dissolution. A firm may be compulsory dissolved when all the partners become insolvent. And this next is when business of the firm becomes unlawful. Next is by notice. In case of this, the firm may be dissolved by any partner giving the notice in writing to all the partners of his intention to dissolve the firm. The partner has to give the notice in return. What is the intention behind it? The firm, they have to close down. Okay, their intention they have to write down in the notice. Next is on happening of an event. A firm may be dissolved in any of the following event, like on expiry of the term or on completion of the venture and on the death of a partner. Okay. Next is dissolution by court. Court may pass order for the dissolution of the firm. For the first case, a partner becomes a person of unsound mind. Second, a partner becomes permanently incapable of performing his duties. Next is court find dissolution of the firm justified. Okay. So these are the modes of dissolution of a firm. Now children, next is accounting treatment of dissolution of firm. Accounting treatment of on dissolution of firm. The first is in dissolution process, we have to start preparing these accounts. The first one is realization account. Second one is partners capital account. Partners capital account is same as in previous two chapters, partner admission of a partner and retirement of a partner. Next is bank account or cash account. In place of balance sheet, you have to prepare bank account or cash account. Now accounting entries. Journal entries we have to give. So the journal entry for this, see, in dissolution of a firm, we are closing the business. We are shut down the business. We are winding up the business. So accounting entry, it means you have to close all the assets. So for closing the asset, the journal entry is realization account debit to asset account. Okay. Realization account debit to asset account. And if you are closing the liabilities, then the journal entry is liabilities account debit to realization account. In liability case, realization will be credited. So liabilities, all the liability you have to write down debit, like sundry creditor, bills payable, bank loan, etc. So these are should be debited and to realization account. Next is for realization of assets. For realization of asset means when the assets are sold. So children, I already told about in realization account, when we dissolve the firm, so you have to prepare realization account and all the assets you have to sold and liabilities you have to pay. So as for realization of asset, when the first part is when the assets are sold for cash, then journal entry will be cash will come. So cash account debit to realization account. Children, here you have to write down bank also. If now the entries you have to pass through bank, through check. So you can write down in place of cash, you can write down bank. Bank account debit to realization account. Next is when asset is taken over by a partner. Okay, first is when assets are sold. So entry will be bank account debit to realization account. Second is when asset is taken over by partner, then journal entry will be concerned partners capital account debit to realization account. The third is when the assets are given to any of the creditor towards payment of his due. For example, machinery of 30,000 taken by any one creditor. Okay, so at that time assets are settled, liabilities are settled from the asset. So there will be no entry. At that time you have to pass no entry. Okay, so you can write down no entry. Next is settlement of liabilities. So first is on payment of liabilities. If you are paying the liabilities, then entry will be liability realization account debit to cash or bank. Next is if a partner agrees to settle a liability. So if a partner agrees to settle a liability, then entry realization account debit to concerned partner's capital account. Okay. Now next is for realization expenses. So at that time, for realization expenses, journal entry for the first case, journal entry is for realization expenses borne and paid by the firm. Children, this line you have to see clearly. Realization expenses borne and paid by the firm. So at that time the entry will be realization account debit to cash account. Okay. Next is for realization expenses borne by the firm but paid by the partner. Here it is borne by the firm but paid by the partner. So entry will be realization to concerned partners capital account. And next is for realization expenses borne by the firm but partly paid by the firm and balanced by the partners. So both are paying. Entry will be realization account debit to cash account to concerned partners capital account. So these are the accounting entry for the dissolution of a firm. Now we will start the question. Question number 1. Pass necessary journal entries of the following transaction. The first is realization expenses amounted to rupees 10,000. Here nothing is given borne by the partner or borne by the firm or paid by the partner, paid by the firm. So the question is only realization expenses amounted to rupees 10,000. So it is assumed that it is borne by the firm and paid by the firm. So the journal entry will be realization account debit to cash account or bank account 10,000. Next is realization expenses of rupees 5,000 were paid by Tarun, a partner. Here Tarun is a partner. Here Tarun is a partner and realization expenses 500. This is paid by Tarun. So the journal entry will be realization account debit to concerned partners capital account. It means Tarun's capital account. Okay. Next is C part. Realization expenses of 5,000 were paid by the firm on behalf of Madan, a partner. Here 5,000 realization expenses paid by the firm. Firm is paying. Okay. But on behalf of partner. So here you have to pass the journal entry partners capital account. Concerned partners capital account debit to cash. Because cash is paying. So to cash account. So here partner is Madan. Madan's capital account debit to bank account. Okay. Next is dissolution expenses were rupees 8,000. Out of the said expenses, 3,000 were to be borne by the firm and the balance by Ravi, a partner. 8,000 are paid by the firm. Dissolution expenses are given 8,000. Okay. So out of the said expenses, 3,000 borne by the firm. Means firm expenses 3,000 and the balance by Ravi, a partner. Rupees 8,000 paid by the firm, but complete 8,000 paid by the firm. So the journal entry is realization account debit 3,000. The firm's expenses, write down realization account debit and remaining balance, it means 5,000. So that 5,000 for Ravi. Ravi's capital account debit to bank, because the total amount of 8,000 paid by the firm. So you have to write down to bank or to cash. Okay. Next is realization expenses of 5,000 were to be borne and paid by Karan, a partner. Realization expenses 5,000 were to be borne and paid by Karan, a partner. Here the expenses paid by the partner. So journal entry will be realization account debit to Karan's capital account. Okay. So this is the first question. Now children, question number 2. Pass necessary journal entries in the following cases. Again you have to pass the journal entries. So children, in question number 1, the journal entry based on expenses, realization expenses. Okay. So I have given all the cases of realization expenses. Do practice from your book also. Okay. Now question number 2, necessary journal entries for the following cases. The first is creditors worth rupees 85,000 accepted rupees 40,000 as cash and investment worth rupees 43,000 in full settlement of their claim. So children, creditor means liability. Okay, and here cash and investment means asset. So here the liability is settled through the asset. So at that time, how you have to pass the journal entry, this we have to see in this question. Okay. So first of all, the creditor amounted rupees 85,000. 85,000 is the creditor amount. Now this creditor amount accepted for rupees 40,000 as cash and investment worth rupees 43,000 in full settlement of their claim. It means the cash and investment amount rupees 43,000. Okay, but the creditors are settled. The creditors are settled on 40,000 in full and final settlement. So the journal entry for this you have to pass realization account debit to cash 40,000. Realization, the remaining balance is 45,000, I think. Sorry children, this is 45,000. So you have to pass the journal entry for the remaining balance 45,000. Realization to cash 45,000 you have to pay in cash, because the out of the 85,000, 43,000 are paid in full and final settlement. Okay. So accepted rupees 40,000 as cash. Sorry children. Wait. I am again telling you. Creditor rupees 85,000 accepted 45,000 as cash. 85,000 creditor amounted. It means we have to pay to the creditor 85,000. Now, out of the 80,000, 40,000 received in cash. So, how much amount is remaining? 45,000 amount is remaining. Now, for this 45,000, he is accepted investment worth rupees 43,000 in full and final settlement. It means this 45,000 he has settled by taken investment. Okay, so this amount will be cut because creditor amount 45,000 settled with the investment. Now 40,000 he is receiving in cash. It means we are paying the cash. So the journal entry is realization account debit to cash account 40,000. Okay, this is the solution. So rest amount for the balance amount of 45,000 we no need to pass the journal entry, because from the asset it is settled. Liability will be settled. In similar way, the next is creditor worth rupees 16,000. They accepted machinery valued at rupees 18,000 in settlement of their claim. So here no need to pass any entry. Here is no entry because creditor of 16,000 settled by accepting the machinery of rupees 18,000. So here machinery amount is 2,000 more, but no problem. In full and final settlement we have paying the machinery. Sometimes when we closing the business, we have to do in such a way. Suppose we don't want to give cash, then we have to pay some asset. We have to give some asset to settle the liability. Okay. So here is the same case. 16,000 of creditors has taken 18,000 machinery, accepted 18,000 machinery. So there is no entry because our machinery is also decreasing and liability creditor is also decreasing. Now next is creditor of rupees 90,000. They accepted building for rupees 1,20,000. Now here building amount is 1,20,000. It means 30,000 more. And our creditor amount is only 90,000. So we are paying the asset 30,000 more. So but this time paid cash to the firm 30,000. This time creditor has to be paid the cash 30,000. The amount of building is more, so that 30,000 creditor will pay back to the firm. So for that time you have to pass the journal entry cash account debit to realization account, because cash is receiving, the firm cash is receiving. So cash account debit to realization account 30,000. Understood? So in this way you have to pass the journal entry when asset and liabilities settled. Okay. Now this is question number 3. Journal entry you have to pass at the time of dissolution. The first is bank loan of rupees 12,000 was paid. So children, as you know that bank loan is a liability. So liability you have to pay. So here bank loan of 12,000 was paid. So what is the journal entry? Realization account debit to bank account. Because it is bank loan, so it will be paid to the bank. So entry will be realization account debit to bank. Okay. Next is stock worth rupees 16,000 was taken over by partner Q. Here stock amount rupees 16,000 it was taken over by Q. So the entry will be Q's capital account debit to realization. Next is partner P paid a creditor of rupees 4,000. Creditor is a liability and who is paying? P. P is settled down the liability. So the journal entry will be realization account debit to P's capital account. Next, an asset not appearing in the books of account realized rupees 1,200. An asset not appearing in the books, it means this is unrecorded asset. So it is realized for rupees 1,200 and this is an asset. So it means on realization of this asset we will receive the cash. So journal entry will be cash account debit to realization account. Next is expenses of realization rupees 2,000 were paid by partner Q. So this entry you know that realization to Q's capital account, because Q is paying the cash, so realization to Q's capital account. Okay children. So these are the journal entry. Now one question based on realization account in which you have to make the realization account. So this is the balance sheet of a firm as at 31st March 2019 when it was decided to dissolve the firm. So liabilities and asset. So how you have to prepare realization account? Children, here in this question Look at this one, the adjustment. Rupees 19,500 were realized from all assets except cash at bank. The cost of winding up came to 440. X and Y shared the profit sharing ratio 2:1. You have to prepare realization account. Okay. Now this winding up came to rupees 450. This is realization expenses. Profit sharing ratio is 2:1. So how we have to make realization account? The format is same as revaluation account, particular rupees. But what we have to do? We have to write down the liability side item to the credit side of the realization account. Like this creditor, you have to transfer. General sub, we have to distribute in the partners capital account, so no need to transfer. Capital also we have to write down there, so no need to transfer. Only creditor you have to transfer. If there is any other liability like bank overdraft, bank loan or bills paper, then also you have to write down in credit side. Okay. Now from the asset side, you have to transfer all the assets except cash at bank, goodwill, okay, debtor, stock, machinery. These three assets you have to transfer debit side. These three sides you have to transfer. Okay. Now come to the additional information. Here additional information is given. 19,500 were realized from all assets. From all assets, realized means all assets were sold and the amount will come 19,500, but except cash at bank. Because cash is already in cash, so cash we no need to sell, and other asset we have to sell, and the amount will come 19,500. Now 19,500 is the sale value we will receive. So we have to write down here as by cash and write down the amount 19,500. Okay. Now next is winding up came to 450. Here realization expenses amount is given 450. So it will also paid in cash. So write down to cash realization expenses 450. Okay. See children, here to cash realization expenses 450. This is the amount. Now all things written from the question. Now what we have to write down? Here creditor is given in the balance sheet and creditor is a liability. But in adjustment there is nothing about creditor. Means we have to pay or not. But remember this thing, always remember, all the liabilities you have to pay. All the outsider liabilities you have to pay. If there is bills payable, bank overdraft, bank loan, okay, and this creditor, these all things, if in adjustment it is not given, about payment it is not given, then you have to pay it yourself. It should be remembered. Okay. So these creditors you have to pay in their book value 14,000. Okay. So as it is, you have to write down this amount also. Now you have to balance. Same, you have to do the total of debit side and subtract with the credit side. These two things you have to subtract. The answer of loss 1800 will come. Now 1800 you have to divide in 2:1. Division, you know how to divide 1800 into 2/3, and the second is 1800 into 1/3. So 1200 and 600. Okay children, in this way you have to make the realization account. In this way you have to make the realization account. I hope you all have understood all the journal entries. based on realization expenses and liability and asset and this realization account. Again I am telling you children, from next week your quarterly exam will be started. Your accountancy syllabus from chapter number 1 to chapter number 4. Okay. Chapter number 1 is not for profit organization to retirement of a partner. Deleted portion will not come in quarterly exam as well as in annual exam. And children, one more thing, if you have any query, you can message me in your accountancy group regarding any chapter if you have any query. And on this next Monday, I am taking your online live classes. So regarding chapter number 1 to chapter number 4, if you have any query regarding exam or regarding syllabus or regarding any question, you can ask. I will solve on your live class. Okay children, Sai Ram, thank you.